Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Dedan Tolbert, host of the Dedan Tolbert Show, which airs weeknights at 9. And this is a letter that I wrote to Steve Harvey that a lot of people have been asking me to put on YouTube. So here it is. Good morning. As a 32-year-old black male, I have a serious problem with you claiming to be an expert on how black men think. Many of your views on dating and relationships do not represent me or any other man that I know. Even the title of your book makes no sense in my opinion. It's impossible for a woman to ever be able to think like a man. All they can ever hope to do is understand how and why we do the things based on real life situations and scenarios. On the Data on Tolbert show, not just about every night, men from all over the country call in to express their disapproval of your advice and to voice their concerns about the fact that it's not an accurate depiction of how black men think. One topic that's especially troubling is the 90-day rule. It's ridiculous to put any type of time frame on how soon you should give something as precious as your body to a man. It's even more ridiculous to think that 90 days is a good barometer of how long a man will wait to have sex with a woman. Women need to know that if a man just wants you for sex, he'll wait 90 days, 120 days, or even longer to get it. Once he gets what he wants, he's out the door. Following the 90-day rule is giving women a false sense of security and has gotten many unsuspecting women who thought they had a good man dogged on the 91st day. I understand that your intention was to encourage women not to give up the cookie so fast and to take their time in getting to know a man before jumping into bed. However, as a self-proclaimed relationship expert, you should know better than anyone that many people are going to take and have taken the 90-day rule literally, and after having gotten their feelings hurt said, Steve Harvey told me that this is how long I should wait. I suspect that you knew this before co-writing Act Like a Lady and Think Like a Man, but just didn't care and chose to go with the catchy slogan just for marketing purposes. Well, congratulations, it's worked, and you've sold 2 million books, if not more. As a talk show host and advice columnist myself, I've gotten thousands of Ask Data advice questions from women all over the world who have called and written into the show crying from being dogged after listening to your advice. On the Data Tolbert show and in my advice column, I advise women that instead of putting an unrealistic time frame on intimacy, you should wait until marriage, or at the very least, until that man has strong feelings for you and you're in a committed relationship. As a man who has personally strung women along who I was not the least bit interested in for more than 90 days with no sex, I can say with certainty that men have no problem whatsoever waiting indefinitely to get what they want. I recently watched you on the Oprah Winfrey Show answering questions on how soon is too soon to give up the cookie. My response would have been, pray about it, and if you have to ask, then it's definitely too soon. When giving your body to a man, women need to understand, they have to have no doubts whatsoever about how she feels about him and how he feels about her. Growing up, my father used to tell my younger sister that her body is a temple and should be given the highest level of respect. As a father, I would think that your message would be similar instead of encouraging women to use an unrealistic and ludicrous time frame of 90 days as a guide. To illustrate how preposterous the 90-day rule is, I've included this analogy that's been opening women's eyes around the world and is a true story from my past. Back in the day, I had a really bad toothache, but no insurance. So I got this job just so I could go to the dentist. They told me that I had to wait 90 days for my benefits to kick in. I hated the job, but I needed the benefits to get my tooth fixed. So I stuck it out for the 90 days. Once I got my tooth fixed, what do you think I did with that job? I'm very curious to hear what your response, if any, you'd have to that analogy, which in my opinion and many others totally removes any validity of the 90-day rule. When you advise women to wait 90 days before having sex, you might as well be telling them to wait 2 weeks because it will have the same result. If anything, I would have at minimum preferred you calling it the 6-month rule or the 1-year rule or the marriage rule. But both would have still been ridiculous, but at least it wouldn't sound as outlandish as only 90 days, which is absolutely nothing to most men. Telling a man that he has to wait 90 days to have sex with you is like telling a lifelong criminal who's done years in jail that he has to do a 90-day bid. He's going to laugh and do it with no problem because he's been there and done that. Since you like to use the analogy of many jobs waiting to give their employees benefits, look at it this way. If I'm at a job where I want to get a promotion, and if my boss tells me over the next 90 days he's going to be watching me and expects me to do little things to show myself worthy of the promotion, how do you think I'm going to act? I'm going to be on my best behavior for that entire period. I'm going to be on time every day, and I'm going to go above and beyond all expectations simply because he told me that's what's needed to do in order to be promoted. That doesn't mean I'm a great employee. It just means that I really wanted that promotion. What would have made more sense is for my boss to watch me over the next course of the next several months, meaning more than 3, to see my performance without me even thinking about a promotion. I'm writing this letter because my goal in life, as well as on the Dedan Tolbert Show, is to help women avoid the many uncomfortable circumstances that they often find themselves in. Since you like to give advice, here's some advice for you. Stick to comedy. You've been very successful at it, and I applaud your success. However, by giving the type of relationship advice that you give, you're hurting women more than you're actually helping them. I doubt that you'll read this on air in front of your audience because you seem to be only concerned with hearing from women who've read your book and love the ground that you walk on. On the other hand, men in barbershops all across America who thrive on dogging women are laughing at Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man because you just made their job a whole hell of a lot easier. Now, there's a little bit more to that letter, and you can find the full letter at dadansplace.net. But in a nutshell, again, this is not an attempt to hate on Steve Harvey. This isn't an attempt to discredit him or demean him, but I feel like women need to know the truth. Women are being hurt. Women are being dogged as a result of specifically listening to the 90-day rule. Hopefully I've shed some light on this subject. Feel free to listen to the Dedan Tolbert Show weeknights at 9 o'clock at dadansplace.net. Peace.